Hey guys, what's up? How are you? Welcome to Conversations from Paris. If you don't know me, I am Paris Johnson, particularly, and we have conversations that are stimulating, mostly to our mental health, but to our overall person and being. If you don't know who I am, and so today is no different. Today we're going to talk about. Um, the effects of the whole new year, we're into 2022 and we got to talk about what that looks like to you and how it affects you. So I'm excited. If you guys don't have any time, if you guys have any if you guys have time, I would like you to share on your platform. Hey Mama Pat, oh, I love you. So glad you got a chance to come on. um I am excited about this year. I truly am. But I understand that really now your phone is on vibrate and then it still goes off. That's just saying, that's trippy. Y'all know this is live TV, right? Or a live show because anything and everything can happen. Yeah, so if you guys can come on in and we're gonna get started. I honestly I'm excited about the new year and all the things that are coming, but I get excited like this every year. And I know some people really get into this anxiety point. And then especially after the last 2 years we had, I know people have almost tried to kill the idea of getting excited about the new year. And I really don't like that, right? So we're gonna talk about what that looks like, how it affects you, what does setting goals looks like to your mental health, what is acknowledging the reality of what's happening, and how it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive, how it doesn't have to be either or, but it can be both and, right? We're going to learn how we can be optimistic, but we can also embrace what our current is, right? One of the things I like to say, and I might not say it on here as much, but I say it to people, is that you're not going to really be able to go far with your goals if you don't first learn gratitude, right? If you don't understand and figure out what it means, what it looks like to be grateful for what you currently are, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, if you're not able to embrace that or grasp that, you're going to have a really, really hard time setting goals. Because what happens is that when you don't feel like your goals are being accomplished in the time you wanted to do it, or when you feel like you fail, you will hang it up because then you're going to feel like, this didn't work anyway. I don't know why I aspired to do better. So we have to first address that, right? We really have to first address the idea that you're not Superwoman. You're not Superman. You can't do it all. You're going to fail sometimes. Things are not going to go the way you thought. You can put your best foot forward and your best effort, and things still cannot go the way you thought. And it doesn't mean that you are a failure. It means that might have been a particular failure or thing that didn't go through. Instead of us beating ourselves up, let's understand it's part of the process. And honestly, it's part of the process that's so much more natural than we really acknowledge. We all go through it, right? We all fall. We all fail something. We all don't complete something. And so this idea as though there's no grace for when things go wrong, and we get really quiet around our failures. Let's talk about it, y'all, because I'm here now and I'm feeling it. We are so fast to go to social media and to our friends and to our family and brag or tell about the good things. And that's wonderful, right? But we don't necessarily talk about the mishaps. And I understand why, because they're embarrassing. You don't want people to know you failed. You don't want to know you don't want people to know that things didn't go right, that you didn't hit a mark, right? But I'm learning that transparency, that when we talk more about our failures and our wins, there becomes a level of balance that happens. And you don't even realize you're encouraging someone else or not just encouraging them, but you're giving them the full picture. Don't you hate a half picture story? Don't you hate knowing something and you just only see the good parts of it? Like, I don't want to see the movie where everything is just good, 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 good. That movie wouldn't even go anywhere. There has to be a plot. If you know anything about storyboards and storytellings, there has to be there have to be ups and downs. There have to be peaks and valleys, right? It's not interesting if everything is just great, 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 great. If the story is, I went to school, nothing happened, everything was taken care of. I went and I graduated, top of my class, and it's all happened, and nothing bad ever happened. No adversity was in my way. It could happen, but I don't think it's the complete story. And if you made that into a movie, it wouldn't even sell, because it becomes a point where it's not modeling humanity, right? We're imperfect people, right? We don't none of us are like errorless, right? So it gets to a point where we have to be more complete with our stories. And it's funny because I feel like in 2022, you feel like more and more people understand this. And I see how it's still very rare. Like, it's still completely rare. Not a lot of people want to be transparent. People don't want to bring up the things that went wrong. And again, I'm not saying you should want to bring it up. I'm saying not only will it help you, but it will help. Well, let me go. I was going to say it's going to help more people, but I'm going to just go back to how it's going to help you. When you're more transparent about your fails, you can go back and look at when you overcome them, because you will overcome your failures. It's going to help you out. I love to look back to things before. Like, where was I at last year this time? You know, when you're growing and you're in a process, it's so encouraging to go back and see where you came from. Because sometimes you can get discouraged and think, oh, this is not even worth it. I shouldn't even do it. I shouldn't even try to better myself. But what you don't realize is that you've already come so far. So yeah, you might have been trying to go to 100 and you only got to 30. But can you be honest that you were only at 5 last year? So if you were 5 last year and you got to 30, that's 25 extra. That's amazing. But if you will only celebrate the 100, you missed out on the process. You missed out on the growth. You missed out on the part that was supposed to be the fuel to get you to the next. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people, and then, we're really bad about shaming people about having their vision boards. We're really bad about shaming people about having New Year's resolutions. Nothing's going to change this new year if you don't change. And, stop going to the gym. Y'all, I hear people always say, stop going to the gym at the beginning of the year and making it so I can't get on the machines. Y'all gonna just quit in a month. So just go ahead and don't even start it. I hate it. I hate that mentality. I hate the mentality that I have found something that I'm disciplined in. And who knows how long it took that person. Let's talk about it. But I found something that I'm disciplined in, and you are trying to find the discipline to stay consistent. And instead of me encouraging you, instead of me giving you tips that helped me, instead of me cheering you on, I'm going to roll my eyes and talk indirectly at you, right? Because nobody says this to actual people at the gym. They put it on social media so it can look all cute and on their statuses and have people kiki and laugh at it. But they really don't really want any to say it. They don't want to seem like they're negative, but they are. They are. Just talk about it. It's negative and it's rude. Everybody doesn't have that discipline from day one. If you do, kudos, wonderful. But everybody doesn't. And it's no point in beating people up because they're not there. Now, you might have discipline in the gym area, but maybe you don't have discipline in your eating. Like, I know people that's gone to the gym for 10, 12 years and they haven't lost a pound and always look like, what is going on? And they're like, oh, I eat what I want. And I'm like, okay. Listen, who am I? I'm not going to judge that. I know some things about it, but who am I to judge it? Same idea. You might say you're disciplined in your eating, but you're not disciplined in your mental health, self-care, your meditation, your prayer life, your spiritual life. There are places where we all struggle, right? And if someone is making a conscious effort to be better at it, to ridicule them because they're not yet where you are in that particular arena is a coward move. I always tell people, the people that have no reason to compete with you, they're usually not the people that bother you. So it just amazes me when you have this thing where people are like, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to do that. And you have all these people like, oh my God, they're just here at the gym. Oh my God, they're so annoying. They're here. It really surprising to me because I'm like, if you were there and you're concentrated on what you're doing, just make room. Just come a little earlier. Just, adjust, right? Adapt, right? Because what if these people are all serious? It's just going to be more people at the gym. And you're going to have to just deal with it, right? You would adapt, right? I know this really seems like a singular conversation about the gym, but it's really not. If you really pick up what I'm saying, it's about the New Year resolutions. The close of a year oftentimes brings reflections. And when the reflections come, people really start to think about what can I do better? What are the things that went well last year? What are the things that didn't go so well? Where can I improve? Oftentimes you hear about people doing vision boards, and I was not a strong component of. I was not a strong component of those for years. I really wasn't, and I'm just be honest. I thought it was a little childlike. I'm just being look. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so transparent. I don't mean to be offensive when I say this. This is not personally attacking anybody. I'm just telling you what I used to think. I don't believe this anymore. I used to think that it was so like childish because people was like, get a poster board and then take magazines and cut them, the pictures out and paste them on and then say, this is going to be my life. And I just didn't understand how that helped, right? I just didn't understand how it helped. Like, I didn't understand how you taking a Ferrari and pasting it on the board was going to manifest that Ferrari for you. You want to know what I know now? It's not necessarily about you getting the Ferrari per se. It's not necessarily about you putting those unrealistic things there. It's more so about mindset. It's more so about you shifting the way you think. And it's really about dreaming and vision. Really, that's really what it's about. That's what vision boards are. I didn't get that though. And I understand it now, much more so from less of a conceptual idea to more of a practical idea. If you cannot see it, if you cannot visualize it, you would never obtain it. You don't, because your mind cannot conceptualize that it's possible, right? If you can't conceptualize the possibility of it, it'll never fall into your lap. You have to open up your mindfulness. You have to open up your mentality. You have to open up your consciousness, and to be able to say, this is what I want. This is possible. I can obtain it. I will obtain it. And with me writing it down, visualizing it, I will make this something that is a goal. It took me a while to understand that that's how that works, right? That's why I tell people I hate just doing things. I can't just do them. I need to know why. And I don't think they were really explained well enough to me at first. Hey, girl. Hey, Dominique. They were not explained well enough to me at first. It just seemed like a lot of people was like, let me go get the most expensive magazines and I'm gonna cut this out and I'm gonna say I want this Birkin bag and I want this husband that's 6'8" and he got a mansion and it's what I want and it's gonna happen. And then to me, it was a bit far-fetching, unrealistic. Um, but I can find value in it if it's not just all material things. Like I saw a vision board that I thought I really liked, and it was a picture of a family on it, and it wasn't anything spectacular about this family. And I asked the person, I said, "What is that piece?" And they said, "This is that part of the vision board is for me to have closeness with my family." And I was like, "Wow, that's awesome." That you put that on your vision board as one of your goals. Like for this year, I want my family to be much closer and, and be healthy. And so I was just like, that's good. I saw somebody else's vision board be um, instead of it being like somebody in a particular bikini or something that's like really in shape, the vision board was of a medical report that was all like positive, right? And I was just I asked them what I said, what is this about? And they said, I want a clean bill of health because my health is important to me. So I want to be able to have that by, during this year. And I said, whoa, that's a good one too. It should, and it's so it really shifted my thought of what it can be. It didn't, I feel like sometimes you only see the small amount of them, you make judgments, and so you don't understand, and you don't really know how that makes sense. But I'm starting to understand that it can be much more than just the material stuff. I saw somebody put a passport. I said, "Oh, they want to travel more, And they said, "No, the passport is for my kids to all have them, and I want to take them to places so they can expand their thoughts and see more cultures and become more cultured and have more respect for other cultures and such." And I was like, "That is a really good resolution, you know." So you see how I was wrong a while ago about this, and I realized that really essentially, if you don't even do a vision board, we all should be doing something called vision casting. I don't know if you heard of that term, vision casting. Sometimes you hear it in the church, but I think that there can be a vision casting for everybody's life where you literally say, this is what I want this year to look like. This is the vision I have for my life. This is the vision I have for my household. This is the vision that I want going forward. And it's interesting because I don't think that we really give ourselves enough credit that we have the right to have a vision. If you have a business, vision casting for your business as well is important. But even just vision casting for your life, saying, this is how I want to see my life manifest. And I think what was it? I want to challenge you guys to be a bit more specific. I had one friend, she wrote out about her vision was for her house to be peaceful, that anybody that crossed the threshold of her home, they were to experience peace. I just thought that was so dope. I was like, what are you guys getting these visions for? Again, I saw so many small parts of things, and I made my own perceptions of it. And I believe at the time my perceptions were right, but I now see that you can take it, and it's much bigger than that really small piece. You can really start to construct what you want I talk about wholeness. So, the pieces of wholeness is your emotions, your emotional life, your spiritual life, your mental life, your relational life, and your physical life, right? Those are the 5 main things that you really need to make sure are intact, right? And I think it's dope to, if you do a vision board, to have all 5 of those components on the vision board. I'll give you an example. I'll give you like 5 examples, right? One from each category. So, and I'll use myself as an example. Here we go. Emotions. In 2022, I want to be more honest about my frustrations and be more intentional about how I react to triggers in certain situations. Hey, mom, love you. That can be my first. That could be my first like goal, right? So on my vision board. So how would I put that on the vision board? Well, um, maybe I'll find something like a trigger, and then I'll put something like hearts around it that show that that's my emotions, and maybe I'll write the word vulnerability and truthfulness, see, that's something how I can put that on there so I can know that I'm working towards it. And see, just so you guys know, the vision board is just one piece of it. I'm first putting this out, and then we do the work. That's the other part that people forget. You put the vision out, and then you do the work, right? So I said the one about the emotions. Let's see, I said mental. What maybe for the mind, I tell y'all about enhancing your mind. Like, I believe I want to get to a point where I'm finishing a book every month. So maybe I put that as one of my goals on my vision board. So maybe I do a picture of some books, and then I do 12 of them, right? And these are books that's going to be for personal growth, that are going to help me. So maybe I put that on there. That's for my goal for mental health. Then let's see. Let's go for my what did I say? Oh, spiritual. So depending on if you believe in God or if you whatever you believe in, I tell you guys about meditation too, and getting at one with your spiritual being, whatever that looks like for you. But for me, it's God. And part of what I do is pray. So for me, maybe my intention is I want to be able to spend more time praying or spend more time reading my Bible. And so that's something that I'll put on the board. And I represent that however I represent it. Okay, so I said one for emotional, mental, spiritual. Let me give you one for relational. Maybe y'all know I just moved to this new city. So maybe while I move to this new city, I want to build new relationships. And maybe I want to make sure that I don't get into like just myself too much. So maybe I'm intentional about trying to meet new people. And maybe I'll say something like, I would like to meet a new person every month. However it can be. Maybe I like to skate. Maybe I find a skating rink and go skating. Maybe I join a class and I meet people through the class. Maybe I start a new church and I meet people through the church. However, but you see how I'm saying this? I can put that on there. And maybe that's a picture of people and different activities. Putting that on my vision board. The last one was physical. I want to get in shape, and most people have that, but everybody's not the same. Like maybe yours is not for you to lose weight. Maybe yours is for you to gain muscle, or maybe yours is just for you to have a healthier heart, or maybe yours is just for you to eat healthier. Whatever it is, again, put that on the vision board for something that you want to achieve. And this is how you start to do your vision casting. This is how you start to say, okay, this is what I want to see for my year. I get so concerned when people get so defeated because something did not play out how they thought it was going to play out. Listen, we're human. However, just because it's what you wanted, it doesn't mean that it's totally down the drain. Maybe you got the timing wrong. Maybe it wasn't the time for you at that moment. Maybe it wasn't the season for you. So maybe you got to a point where you assumed that was right prime in that moment for you and realized that it didn't happen and it discouraged you. But I challenge you to realize that timing is very important. I see now certain things I wanted years ago, and I realized I probably would have not stewarded the things I had. I wouldn't have stewarded right at the time I was requesting to have it. I might have thought I was ready for it, but I might have not really been there. And I feel like sometimes things line up perfect. The perfect alignment happens when you line yourself up, right? When you are walking how you need to walk, when you are priming yourself and doing the prerequisites and doing the work to get yourself prepared, you know. Um, so, if it didn't happen how you thought it was going to happen in 2020 or 2021, maybe it's time for you to reevaluate that goal. I just don't say throw it away. I say look back at it and say, okay, this is what I thought was going to happen. Is this what I still want? Because it could no longer be what you want. There were some goals I had for 2020 that I don't even want to do anymore. And that's okay because I'm somewhere different. Like I told you, if you're evolving, if you're moving, you're not supposed to even be the same person you were last year. So when you're evolving and moving, what I could have wanted a year ago or 2 years ago, it should be different slightly, right? But it's nothing wrong with still trying to pursue that same goal. It doesn't mean you failed it that year. It just means that it wasn't the time yet. And so maybe this is the timing. This is the year that you go ahead and say, oh, okay, and this is when I'm ready for it to happen. And now it manifests because now not only did you cash the vision, you put the work in, and the timing was perfect, and you were ready for it. And now it all came into play. I really believe that. I don't think that we think about that enough, and we just get so discouraged. So if you're just now coming on, don't forget to like. Please comment. I told you guys it's not just about me talking, it's about us talking, it's about conversations. I'm talking about New Year, New You, the New Year's resolutions. I'm talking about vision boards. I'm talking about vision casting. And I'm talking about making sure that we don't bring the heaviness from last season on, and that we don't bring the discouragement, and that we don't absorb when people are negative talking about don't set new stuff, don't do new things. I don't want to hear that. I'm so tired of the negativity. If you want the end of a thing and the beginning of a thing is actually when you really should come in with hope and optimism. This is really when you should say, this is what I want my year to look like. You have every right to do it. And if you don't do it, I'm a little concerned. When I talk to people, I have deep conversations. One of the things I asked them, I said, what do you want for yourself for this year? What do you want for yourself for the next couple of years? And I'm always surprised because most people, either they don't have an answer at all, or you can tell they just pulled something out the air. And I'm not mad and I'm not judging. I'm just saying, I want us to get to a point where we start to think and dream again and really start to make a idea for what we want our reality to look like. And that's why I'm getting into this vision board thing or the vision casting thing. And just even the idea of writing it down. At first I told you I didn't really believe in that stuff, but I really believe in even, when you do the boards or even writing it down, it makes it, I don't know if some of you guys heard the word established. It's established now that you're writing it down. It's something about it being put on paper that makes it real. It is something about you writing it down that makes it real. Because sometimes we have so many things in our mind and we never put it down on paper. You know how I know? Because that's still something I battle with. I battle with all these great ideas and I don't always write them down. And so I'm being very intentional, and I've been very intentional for the last year or so about writing things down. That's why I'm always on you guys about journaling, because I love to go back and look at my old notes. I love to go back and look at things that I thought a year ago. I love to look at where I was at mentally. I love to look at where my emotions were. Like, if you don't journal, like, come on, make that a 2022 vision board thing that you journal. And listen, if you men are watching, please don't make it seem like this is a woman thing. No, men journal too. Listen, and don't make this like this is just some small young person thing. I don't care if you are 6 or if you're 65, you can benefit from journaling. You can benefit from vision. Listen, if you're alive and still got breath in your body, there is time for you to still do things. I was just talking to a group of people Um, and it was interesting. I think one of the persons said, "Oh, young lady, I've been around. I've been around for a long time, and I've done so many things, and uh, I'm kind of just relaxing now." And listen, I respect that, especially how we in the past we've worked ourselves down to the bone. Um, but what I love that I heard in the group was that you might be putting down one thing, but don't be surprised if you're not picking something else up. And it's not to say that you have to be busy or that you have to do something else, but it becomes a thing of purpose. Y'all know we talk about purpose. Some stuff, as long as you're living, it means you have a purpose and a reason to be here. So the idea that you're going to just kind of idly be standing by, I don't know if I embrace that. It doesn't mean you have to work a job, but it does mean that there should be some purpose in your life. And you have to figure out what that is for you. Maybe that's volunteering at an orphanage. I don't know if they still have orphanages or foster facilities. Maybe it is helping at homeless shelters. Maybe it's helping in a prison ministry. Maybe it's helping at in some of the child care centers. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know. I'm not saying that you have to be busy. I'm saying that if you're still here, there's still purpose for you. Maybe what you have to do is to sow more seeds into your family. Maybe you are the wise elder now, and maybe it becomes a thing where you're going to take some of the grandchildren, teach them more things. Like it's so many different things you can do. Maybe you never had a business, and maybe it's time for you, that creativity that you have bottled up all those years. Maybe it's time for you to, maybe you always like to crochet. Well, maybe you crochet some things and put it on Etsy, see what happens, right? Maybe you always want to do a one of those line stepping classes. Maybe you're really good at it. Maybe you do the class. Maybe that keeps you active. It's something fun to do. You help people out all at the same time. You just don't know. As long as you're here, there's reason for you to be here. So no, vision casting is not just for people that are 20, 30, and whatever. It is for every one of us. And I also say, I think it's super cool to even, I saw this guy, he brought his family together and they did a family vision party. I thought that was so incredibly dope. It was a man, his wife, and their 3 children. And he had the place together and they did a party together where they did separate vision boards. And then they also did one as a family. And what he did is he kind of like started a conversation about what they wanted this year to look like for their family. And then they agreed to what they would put on the board together for the family. And then they did the individual ones and talked about it. I just like, man, that is cool. That is cool. Really, really enjoy that level of intentionality. I really enjoy that level of preparedness and that level of what's the word I want to use? That level of taking the anxiety out. We talk about anxiety. Do you know what anxiety is? Anxiety is the fear of the future. It's the fear of not knowing what's going to happen next. And although you don't know what's going to happen next, you can take a lot of that fear out by having a plan. Remember, I told you, listen, you never thought you could plan for fire. You never thought you could plan for earthquake. You never thought you could plan for an active shooter. But guess what? They have drills for all 3. And although you don't know what's going to happen in that situation exactly, these drills, this preparedness helps you to know what to do in a situation so you have a more successful rates of a successful outcome. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it increases your rates greatly. Same thing here. I'm not saying these things will happen, but having this level of intentionality, having a plan will not only put it on the board for you so you can see it, you put it out there, it's somewhere that's visible. Now you can now set your steps and things that you do in order to accomplish these goals, right? Remember, I told you it was two-part. The vision board was only the first part. The second part of it is actually setting your goals, your smaller goals, whether they are monthly goals, whether they are quarterly goals, right, every 3 months, or whether they are weekly goals. Some of them might get down deeper. Like if you're trying to work out, maybe you have daily goals. This is what I'm going to do each day. That's why I believe in, like I said, journaling. That can be helpful too, so that you can keep a track on it. Sometimes a goal for a year might seem like a big thing for you. But if you break it down to achieve this goal for this year, I'm going to have to do this, this, and this at these times of the month, right? Or these, however it breaks down, these are less intimidating and these are doable small chunks. Remember we talked about, I think someone said, how do you, it's a riddle. How do you eat an elephant? I think the answer is one bite at a time. Like, you cannot get overwhelmed at the project. You have to literally start and just chip away at it, chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away, and eventually it'll be done. And that's the thing. Small goals get you to the bigger goal. And I feel like that sounds so basic, right? It's super basic, but it's a reminder. It's a reminder that you're not crazy for setting these goals. If you haven't done it, I suggest that you do. I suggest you don't just say it out loud and just post it on Facebook. I suggest that you get super intentional. If you don't want to do a vision board, you don't need to, but I definitely believe you need to do vision casting. And to do vision casting, all you need is a notebook that you literally write down the things that you want for yourself and or your family and or your business for the year. And getting really, then once you do that, then you can even go further and make a list of things that you're going to do to help you attain some of these goals. Now, I know you like, well, Paris, I didn't think this was going to be a live about vision boards or vision casting. You didn't have to. I understand. But when we talk about New Year, you like, I read an article and I was going to go one way with it where, people talk about, oh, you should not, like the article was talking about, you shouldn't do these visions things and you shouldn't do the resolutions because the effect of it is people get really discouraged and they really get down on themselves and they beat themselves up because they didn't achieve the things. And I just don't agree with that. I agree that it depends on what weight you're putting on it, and understanding of timing, understanding of what you're doing. I even like it where I think it would be really good for you to look back at your past vision boards or past vision casting and say, these are the goals I made and maybe I didn't reach them. And then reevaluate that year and using it as a teachable moment. Like, why didn't I reach this goal? Did I do anything towards this goal? Like any tangible steps towards this goal? If I did, where did I fall short? Was there anything I could have changed, or was this just fate? And if it's not just fate, then what could I have done different? Okay, and I'm going to, like, it's a thing where you can carry over a goal, right? That didn't happen this past year, but I'm going to put it on this year as well because I still want this goal. And now this is what I'm going to do in addition, or this is what I'm going to do that I didn't do already, or taking it to learn and be able to be teachable, right? I think that's so important to be able to do that. That's why I don't believe in the whole getting down and depressed and having anxiety when things don't go well. This is where we talk about the emotional intelligence and being able to say, I feel like I failed. I feel like I didn't accomplish my goal. That hurt me. But then also saying, okay, I feel that, I process that, I release that, and now what I'm going to do next is to go forward, right? Because remember, we don't own emotions, right? They're temporary, right? Hi, Toddy. I'm not really sure what that means, Vara Tech, but okay. But yeah, so if you want to explain, but that's what I just want to make sure that we're super clear about is that don't get discouraged to thinking that you should not map out the year and have optimistic thoughts and vision cast about your next and about how you set it up. Just make sure you don't fall into the trap of past disappointments. Understand that everything is teachable. Everything. Failing is a part of a process. If things don't go well or if things did not manifest, reevaluate what happened. make a new plan, and keep going. That's how CEOs do it. That's how people that own companies do it. That's how people who are successful, anything they do, they just never stop. They don't give up. The difference between you and them is that you give up every time something happens that you don't like. Every time your feelings get hurt, you stop. And that's me in the past. I'm very aware of it. But it gets to a point where you got to want it bad enough. And you got to understand that this is not, so I don't believe in the not setting goals so we're not disappointed when things don't happen. Listen, I am not, here we go. Here's a unpopular opinion, a controversial statement. I am not part of the, what is it called? A participation trophy group, right? I don't believe that you get a participation trophy, but just because you did it. Yes, failing teaches you to be better. Absolutely. Teaches you how to be better, right? If you learn the lessons from it. I don't believe in the participation trophy thing, meaning if you do nothing but show up, you just get something. I think that I really want people to show up for themselves. Don't show up for me. Don't show up for your teacher. And this is hard. Don't even show up for your parent. I mean, you should because you want to be like respectful, especially you're your child. But it doesn't matter in the long run. You got to show up for you. If you don't show up for your employer. I mean, you show up at work, but if you're not like committed, like nobody can like be motivated for you. Nobody can force you to motivate. You know, people can give you um external gifts or like promises to get you to be motivated, but it's temporary. So the minute they stop giving you that, or the minute that you stop appreciating that, you might want more now because you still don't have your own internal motivation. That's a whole nother life. But you know, I just want to remind you, like, to continue to go. Just get back up. Like life's hard. Things happen. Get up. And I'm not saying it's easy as that. I'm saying it is something that's worth fighting for. If it's worth fighting for, then fight, right? And so this is just for me. I wanted to make sure that I encouraged you to understand that do your vision boards, do your vision casting, do your resolutions, be a new you. This is a new year. Have optimism. Don't be concerned and don't be stuck and don't be worried about what happened in the past and don't be so down about all the horrible things that might have happened in the last 2 years that you block the optimism of the new, right? Don't be so concerned with what didn't happen that you're not able to dream again, to set goals, to have vision, to know to pursue purpose, to pursue passion, um, to pursue wholeness, right? I think one of the biggest flexes, you know how I feel, is about your mental health. Like, do a mental health vision board. Like, if you have no other idea what you want to do in life, like, what do you want your mental health to look like in 2022? I'm just saying, like, what does that look like for you? So, I wanted to encourage you guys. I really do. Don't allow anxiety to overtake you. Don't overwhelm yourself. When things seem too big and too scary, just take a deep breath. Don't allow the memories of the past to haunt you. Don't allow those memories. Like, I understand grief is a process, and I know a lot of people are dealing with grief of jobs, of people, of family, of loved ones, of all type of things, of plans. I get it. And I'm not going to tell you how to grieve, but I'm saying that um, being careful about allowing the memories to shut down creations of new optimism. Okay. If you're not sure how to do that, look, y'all know I tell you, I suggest therapy for everyone. And I know some people are like, well, they don't understand. Well, listen, every therapist is not the same. So don't put your eggs in all one basket. Like, if you met a therapist that didn't understand you, just like if you went to a doctor that you didn't like, you get another one, right? Get a second opinion. Why do we do that in everything but this, right? We literally say, oh, I went to it once and it didn't work, and so I don't need it anymore. And I'm like, listen, you can't give up on yourself. That's called giving up on yourself. Way too easy. You're worth it. You're worth more than that. You know how I'm saying it every single time. So I love you guys. I pray that you got something amazing from this today. I pray that you leave encouraged. Listen, Whether you did or didn't, I know you did. Share this. Share this on your page. Share this with somebody. Tag somebody that you know needed to hear this. Who needs to hear it? Everybody, because we all have dealt with the discouragement. We've all dealt with anxiety. We've all dealt with the pressures of new year, new you stuff and the rhetoric that's tossed around. I think this is good for everyone. So share it. Share. Like, comment. Anything that you comment to, I will reply if it has something to do with what we're talking about. And I just want to encourage you guys to continue to vision cast, like do that. And then share with me some of the things that you guys, put on your vision board. It would be pretty dope. I think that would be something that's pretty awesome. I actually thought about doing a vision board event. And I was like, is it too late because we're already into the new year? You guys let me know if you think that'd be something that's kind of cool. Like if you want to do that, I can put that together and maybe it'd be virtual, but maybe it can be really fun. I see a lot of people do it. So sometimes I don't want to do it because I'm like, don't want to give you more of what's already there. But I also think this can have a really cool spin on it. So I'll even ask you that if you want to see that, if you want to see a vision board party that's based around mental health and just wholeness, let me know. I can facilitate that because I think that kind of cool getting used to this vision casting thing. And I really want you to embrace it, right? Whatever that looks like for you. Okay. I love you guys. There's nothing you can do about it. Be the best you possible. Continue to show up for you. Guys, don't forget, I still have the t-shirts and sweatshirts available on parispjohnson.com. Guys, I started this week my emotional intelligence course. Oh my God. Like it's so dope. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the students that's in it. Just what's happening. This is just the beginning. I just see so much more. I've already had some people to say, hey, let me know when the next one starts. So this is just going to be awesome. So I just challenge you guys to just be the best version of you possible. And we'll see you next week. I won't be back on to Tuesday at 6 p.m. So you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. Do something nice for yourself. Practice some form of self-care. And I will talk to you guys later. Love you all. There's nothing you guys can do about it.